Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the FB4 Daily. It is Saturday, it's the 24th of August. Liverpool have swept Heavy D's mob aside 3-1 at Anfield. Arsenal were coming to make a big statement. Arsenal were coming to show us what they were made of. Arsenal were going on about their first three for the last week or whatever it was, and Liverpool went and put them, I think, to the sword, and not even playing at 100%. If you agree, absolutely tell me. If you don't agree, tell me as well. We'll have an argument, and we'll have a big discussion on it for the next half an hour or so. I have got Peter Phillips lined up to come on. Gar Breen is looking to come on. If I can get them, I will absolutely add them in onto a Skype call as we go. This show, of course, is brought to you by Paddy Power. Paddy Power is a bookmakers. It has an app for any device that you use. If you gamble, please gamble responsibly. If you don't worry about it. Disregard everything I've said. That's that out of the way. On to the game. So, Liverpool 3, Arsenal 1. A good 3 points. The only team left in the Premier League with a 100% record. 9 points out of 9. 3 wins out of 3. A goal difference of 6. And yeah, really, really good win. We've another game to go before the international break, which is Burnley away. That's going to be next Saturday at 5:30, if I remember rightly. Just bear with me now while I try add Gar into the call. But listen, let me know what you thought of the game. Let me know what you thought of the lineups. What you thought of Arsenal. What you thought of anything. Just throw it in there, and we'll absolutely have a go at it. I'm going to try add Gar into the call now. You may hear noises, you may not. I'm not too sure. But listen, it's one of those things where just let me see if he adds in. He may do, he may not. Gar, are you there? Is Gar there? How are you, Gar? How are you? Yeah, I'm good. Just give me 1 sec now and I'll get your mic on. There you go. Have a little chat to me now, Gar.
How are you, Gav? You alright?
Yeah, I'm good. Right, Gar, I'm going to start off and I'm going to say to you that team was the perfect side to put out for this game. It's a team I picked throughout the week. Wijnaldum, Henderson, Fabinho midfield, the front three, Matip or Gomez. I went for Matip. Just as the game on the lineup itself, were you happy with that going into kick-off at 5:30 this evening?
Yeah, I think we all knew the lineup, especially when Matip coming back in. He'd been so calm, Gav, alongside Van Dijk, obviously the back end of last season. And Gomez is slightly worrying at times this year. A couple of friendlies he's done well, but you know, in the games he started, we were all a bit worried about him. Obviously getting match fitness up as well, but it was tough for the guy, like, you know. So you know, there's a lot of expectation. Obviously, he's come back from a long time out, so you have to give him that, you know, to let him bed back in match minutes. So we knew Matip was going to come in, and you know, we've just chatted in the group about lads who had no faith in him. But I tell you, ever since he's come in alongside Van Dijk, he's been absolutely out of this world, in fairness to him.
Yeah, you know something, Gar, I'll hold my hands up and I will say that I was one that wanted Lovren in ahead of Matip going back to the start of last season. I thought Lovren was the better I suppose, partner for him. Gomez then came in and was sensational, and when that happened, I thought it would be Lovren over Matip. Lovren, I lost all trust in him when he went off injured against Wolves and disappeared for the majority of last season. Matip has been outstanding. I think he's been, you know, the injury record of Matip was the thing that concerned me going into last season, but I think he proved himself over 7 months of last season anyway. And you know, he misses out at Norwich, but he started ever since, and I think he was fantastic again today. And he has to be the number one partner beside Van Dijk going forward, doesn't he?
100%, and he's also chipping in with a few goals. I think, you know, that's, you know, it's easy to forget that he's done very well defensively, but he's actually chipping in with a few goals, which, you know, you need your centre halves scoring goals, and we've sort of lacked that in years gone by. And you know, our corners have always been very, very poor, and you know, we're obviously using Trent, whose crossing wasn't at all great today, but the corner was brilliant in fairness, and we get another goal from it. And Matip is the man who bangs it in with his ear. I think I saw at one stage.
Yeah, listen, Jono says no doubt the pundits are going to make a big deal about the first goal we conceded. Jono says that. I'm going to get onto that, Jono, because I'm still absolutely fuming at Sky. I'm at the watching Sky today. I'm at the watching the thing, and they are absolute arseholes. That's the only thing I can use them. Martin Tyler opened up today with it's been a day of away wins in the Premier League, setting out with stall nice and fucking early. Listen, I'm going. Peter Phillips is looking to get on the line as well. Like, you know, they're like buses. They fucking they don't come along for ages, and then they just keep fucking arriving. So let me add him in. He should turn up now any second. But look, the game starts, Gar, while I'm adding Peter in there. The game starts, and let's be honest, Liverpool started like a fucking train.
First 12 minutes, Gav, I have to say we're out of this world. They set up with a diamond, which was absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous to do. Hey, Peter. Was
Hello, lad.
Hi up there, Peter's on the line now, so it's myself, Peter, and Gar entertaining the masses for half an hour. We're going to talk about the game. We're going to slag Sky. We're going to have a fucking word about Heavy D. What a dope he is. And we go as we'll see how we get on as we go along. But Gar, continue on the first 15 minutes of that game for you.
Yeah, first 12 minutes. I thought, Gav, it was 12 minutes that I counted where we were just. We were all over them and the shape. But as I said, I don't know why they set up with a diamond, especially against the way we play. It was ridiculous. They left them so narrow. Our fullbacks were allowed to, countless crosses. I don't know how many crosses went in that first half from either side. Now, we weren't doing that with them, in fairness, but their shape just allowed us to attack constantly from each side. And if we have someone that's attacking them crosses, in fairness, they were going right on top of LJ Leno. But it was ridiculous how they set up like that. I couldn't believe it, to be honest. I was so surprised that they set up with a diamond in the middle.
Yeah, they set up with, I think it's, I'm going to call him Cabios, because that's what I call him, and I'm 37, I can do what I like, so I'm going to go with that. He starts up, I was told that this guy, can get on the ball, can control a game, control tempo and stuff like that, and then they looked like they were trying to play in the most furthest forward. Which made no sense to me if he's going to try to control a game. How do you control a game against Liverpool when you're playing more or less 15 yards away from Virgil van Dijk and standing on Fabinho's toes? It was ridiculous, Klopp says that he was surprised at the shape that Arsenal came out with, the line that they came out with. They had to do a bit of adjustments, but I think again, Peter, and listen, correct me if I'm wrong, this all comes down to Arsenal's mentality coming to Anfield. And again, they tried to, I don't know whether they shit themselves or they were trying to be too clever. What did you think of it?
Yeah, obviously, every time they come to Anfield in the past few seasons, they've been on the wrong end of a few goals, haven't they? So I think he's had to try something totally different and try and catch Liverpool out a little bit, which unfortunately for Arsenal just didn't work. I know they did hit us on the counter-attack a few times in the first half and looked quite dangerous, but just to play with the two players up front and then leave Lacazette on the bench, for me, was very surprising. Yeah. But I just thought, all in all, that Liverpool, although they did control the game in the first half, they did leave a little bit of space in behind, but just to get that goal before half-time was vital. And then when they come out second half, that first 15-20 minutes of that second half, it was absolutely unplayable. They was just on fire, and then pretty much continued in the same vein throughout the second half, didn't it? And then we took our foot off the gas, and for me, conceded a needless goal around, I think it was 80 minutes, wasn't it? Which set up a little bit of a nervy ending to the game, because if Arsenal get another one on them with the 10 minutes to go, then people are on the edge of the seats again, aren't they, biting the nails? So for me, it was a needless goal to concede, but yeah, great performance all in all, and very pleased to get the 3 points.
Yeah, Jono says there, is Lacazette allergic to starting at Anfield? I don't know why they went in like this with a diamond, as Gar says. I don't know why they done that. I think they should have matched us up and tried to do their best. Should have put Aubameyang down the left, Lacazette, and maybe Pepe on the right. They should have done something like that. Kevin Sullivan says there, Arsenal should have been one up, Pepe 1-on-1. You could make that argument, but I thought the first 15 minutes Liverpool were outstanding, and we're probably half a yard away from connecting with a couple of things, and could have been in different circumstances being a couple of goals up. But Gar, I'll get to the goals in a minute, but Peter touched on something there about in the second half we were untouchable and stuff like that. again, I think that comes down to Arsenal going, well, we changed what we're doing here. We changed and we tried to fill them and it didn't work. And then they just shit themselves again.
Gav, if you look from most of that game, I have to say, and the guy constantly gets a lot of jip around Twitter, etc. Well, who wants to believe Twitter? Well, I thought Henderson, bar the mistake where obviously he tries, to put the corner back in over his head. He was absolutely tremendous today. The three in midfield controlled the game they set the tempo. They were snapping at the challenges. The range of passing from right to left back, the diagonals all day. I have to say the three of them absolutely just ran the show today. Cabios was left. He didn't know what was going on at times. Willock, I saw him come off and I forgot he was on the pitch. And then Gundogan, you have to say, I do like watching him, Gav. He takes along possession very well, but he again looked lost because he couldn't control Salah's runs and Firmino dropping deep. He didn't know what was going on. Yeah, no,
it was just one of those things where, like Peter says, from the half-time whistle to about 75, I thought Liverpool just were breezing through this, and on another day it could have been 5 or 6. It really, really could. But let's go back a little bit, Peter. The opening goal, Arsenal do have. Look, I'm going to get onto Sky Sports later, but this all leads up to Liverpool dominating. Arsenal kind of have a couple of chances. There's a couple of bits and pieces where they have a break, and there is one where Aubameyang hits it over the goalkeeper, and it goes just wide and stuff like that. But I thought Liverpool over the whole half were a much better side, Peter. And they get the goal. It's a corner from Trent. It's a deep out-swinging ball. Van Dijk has 3 of them, I think, trying to mark him, and in the end it's Matip that comes in and heads it in. 2 goals for Matip, one in the Charity Shield and one in this game today. Is it something he should be doing more, Peter, considering a lot of people just want to mark Virgil van Dijk in corners?
Yeah, I think he should get more goals. Like you say, from that corner when the cross came in from Trent, you could see after the goal had gone in, and pretty much in live play, that the Arsenal defence was pretty much just concentrating on Virgil van Dijk and at all costs just trying to stop him from winning the ball, and didn't pay that much attention to Joel Matip, who's just a similar size, if not slightly bigger than Virgil van Dijk. So I think if the header hadn't gone in, there was a case for a penalty anyway, because Van Dijk was being pulled all over the show. His shirt was being dragged. He was being impeded by 2 or 3 Arsenal defenders. So I think if Matip hadn't have scored that goal, it possibly would have gone to the video referees, and a penalty would have been given anyway.
Peter, the ref, they just interviewed Trent there a while ago, and he's turned around to the 2 guys, or the 3 of them, and said the referee said it was going to be a penalty.
Okay.
Well, yeah, well, there you go, because I could see that for myself, that that was going to be the outcome if it hadn't have scored. But going back to the original point, Joel Matip, he is a threat, especially from corners and set pieces. So if he can add goals to his game as well, he was outstanding towards the end of last season. Fantastic in the Champions League final. He's had a good start to the season. Unlucky not to play in the first game against Norwich when Gomez started. But now he's won his place back. For me, he's the ideal partner now for Virgil van Dijk going forward this season. Yeah,
we were saying that, and I think me and Gar agreed with that. We were discussing that just before he come on, and I think it's definitely a way things are shaping up with Joel Matip being Virgil van Dijk's partner. Keegan says Genie played his socks off. Dylan O'Rourke says maybe an unpopular opinion, but I think Wijnaldum was very, very solid today, moved the ball very well. I thought he was excellent, and Gary, you made the point at half time, especially in the WhatsApp group, that you felt that Genie was really, really good. They're replaying the chances here with regards to Arsenal and what they had, and that they're trying to make out that Pepe is probably Lionel Messi at the minute, because that's what Sky do, because they're arseholes. But I'm looking back at the chances, like the one where Pepe goes through, it's a mistake by Henderson. The one where I think it's Aubameyang has the chance. Adrian should be backing off that and pulling to one side of his box for Van Dijk to give it to him. It's a rush of blood. But look, I'm just looking at the chances he had. Now Pepe, decent, done very well, but I just think most of the stuff comes from mistakes we make. They don't seem to open us up.
Don't seem to
open us up. Look, we go into the second half, and David Luiz the fucking oracle, according to Arsenal fans. A brilliant ball in for by Trent Alexander-Arnold into Firmino. It's a lovely little touch, Gar, where Firmino just lays it off to Salah. It's a very similar to the goal he scored at home to Norwich on the first day of the season. And David Luiz being idiotic, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm not in 100% sure Salah gets onto this with a proper clear chance. Pulls back on his jersey. It's a clear penalty, Gar, and he sticks it away. I'm nervous. Excuse me. I'm nervous when Salah stands over the penalty. I always will be until the day he doesn't play for Liverpool anymore. But he absolutely rattles it into the top corner. There's absolutely no messing there, and an obvious penalty.
What a penalty, by the way! Jesus Christ!
Yeah, serious penalty. But what's Luiz? What is Luiz at?
Listen, we've seen him. We've seen him a lot of times in the Premiership. Now he's headless. He does some good things. I've always said I don't think he's a centre half. I think he's a centre midfielder, defensive midfielder at most. But still, there you risk him. Stupid fouls. He'll probably get away with stupid fouls playing centre mid, Gavin, in fairness. But he's definitely not a centre half. Well, I don't think so anyway. He's just saw what he's done there. He puts aside a goal down straight away. He's the same for the Salah goal as well. He gets pulled out to left full. I don't know what he's doing out there. He does not need to go out all the way out there, and he can't touch Salah because he's going to get sent off. Yeah,
well, you see, the one thing I will say is, I think he's a centre half in a tree. I've always said that, because you can put him in the centre of a tree, let him kind of mop up things, and be good on the ball, which he is good on the ball. People make that point.
He played well. He did play in a tree at Chelsea for a little while, Gav, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he played in a tree for Chelsea when they won the league.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and he done quite well there, in fairness, because he had someone mopping up for him a bit. But as for him taking responsibility in a two, there's just no such thing that's going to happen, Gav.
No, well, I think he's better in a tree because I think he can let other players go and mark players, and then he can mop up and be the footballer. And I think that's what suits him. The second thing about the goal, Gar, is this is all down to Mohamed Salah cheating. And what I mean by that is he cheats in the work rate he has to put in going backwards. And I made this point on Twitter last week. Jordan Henderson actively tells Mohamed Salah to go and stand up to the other end of the pitch.
And the other pitch,
I will drift over and I will cover that area as best I can. And then it's up to you to go and do the damage. And you'll see what happens. He doesn't come back. We have the ball, but he's not going deep. He goes and stands beside that left side of the centre half. They let their fullbacks press. We play it around the corner and he's one-on-one. It's an absolutely vital tactic in what we're doing, and it's very, very obvious. It's even more obvious when they're at the ground and your captain is saying to him, would you ever piss off up there? I'll look after this. And that's the only way I can put it. But listen, it's a brilliant penalty. He sticks it away. It's 2-0 and Liverpool are cruising. Peter, I'm going to give you the third goal. I wanted it myself, but I'm going to give it to you. The third one, like Gar said, where's Luiz going? But the touch from Salah is amazing. The first one to lure him in, the second one to go away from him, the pace to get back inside and take Monreal out of the game, and then composes himself, slows himself down, and passes into the far corner of the net. It's just world class, isn't it, Peter? There's no other words for it.
Yeah, although Salah did do the majority of the work just before the ball was played to him, it's come back to front really. It was pretty much like a training ground routine, wasn't it? From the goalkeeper, Adrian plays it out to Trent, who then plays the ball inside to Fabinho first time, and he's just seen Salah and he's hit the ball into a space, hasn't he? And given the fact that he knows that Salah can use his pace and probably nick that ball away from Luiz, so he's put the ball into the space there. Salah's got onto the end of it, knocked it round. Luiz with a fantastic touch, totally took him out the game, and then his paces took him away. Monreal nearly did catch him, but there's no way that he can touch Salah there going into the penalty box. It's a possible penalty and a red card if he does touch him. So Salah's then just used his initiative, got across the defender, and then just a lovely finish into the far corner, and superb from Mohamed Salah. And for me, he was man of the match. He was outstanding throughout the game and thoroughly deserved his 2 goals. And I was hoping he'd get the hat-trick, but wasn't to be this time. But man of the match performance for me from Mohamed Salah.
Jared says Liverpool's best team in 30 years. Dunno says that Mane was quiet. He was a little bit quiet, but I thought they were brilliant. The pressing was brilliant from everyone in the team, and Mane is part of that. Kev O'Sullivan says Salah absolutely ruined Louise with the shoulder drop. Trevor Villa says it's simple. Teams can't deal with the high pressure. We simply smother them out of games. Bobby is God. Firmino, I thought, was excellent. He's involved with the chance. What would have been the chance for the penalty? He's scooping balls over Cabios, acting the maggot, to be perfectly honest with you. But I thought Firmino was outstanding as well today. We can see the goal, Gar. We can see one with, I think it's 9 minutes or so left. It takes the gloss off it a little bit. I think a clean sheet would have been nice, but I think it was definitely a case, Gar, where the foot was off the gas from about 75, wasn't it?
I thought it was there, Gav. As soon as we got the third, I think we just dropped off totally. And it seems to be a tactic with Klopp as well. And don't forget, we've had a nice week off to go back onto the training ground and work on a lot of things that were needed. In fairness, over the last few weeks, because we've a sporadic pre-season with everyone coming back late. Then you got games and you got Super Cup, and it was all a bit messy. In fairness, so this week I texted that in there earlier. The week off, and I wouldn't say the week off, but sorry, the week on the training ground was a huge benefit. And in fairness, when we go for the juggler, we don't really, especially today, they just sat back and just passed the ball around, and it seems to be a tactic at times last year as well, where we just wanted to keep possession, and just try it. We get caught out for the goal, in fairness, but we're cruising, Gav. Let's be 100% honest here. It was a bit nervy at times, but they three up front, and we were still, we weren't sitting back a lot. Milner was getting stuck in fairness, but we were cruising. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, listen, Kev O'Sullivan says the one we conceded, Henderson was so unlucky. He got there and Arsenal got the lucky break. It's not a surprise if you can see the goal for me, when you do like to take your foot off the gas. I thought it was around 70-75 where, we kind of laid off completely and they came back into it. Like you said, they got a bit more possession. I think the possession worked out about 52-48 in Liverpool's favour, but I thought Liverpool dominated. I thought they were excellent. But look, I suppose it's a 3-1 win. It's 3 points out, or 3 wins out of 3. We're the only team in the league now with a 100% record. We go to Burnley next week. We've another week of training that we can get in now and get sharpness up. 5:30 away to Burnley won't be an easy place to go. But Peter, you can't ask for any more from this team. 3 wins out of 3 and a Super Cup win in our first games this season. We can't ask for much more, can we?
Not really, no. Obviously, the first 2 games, like Klopp alluded to in his press conference, in his after-match interview, didn't he? He said we had to battle at times and we had to work through some difficult occasions in them games, but we come through with 3 points, especially the game against Southampton last week, which was a very difficult game, coming off the trip to Istanbul and 120 minutes in the Super Cup final. So yeah, to come away there with 3 points. Obviously, we was expected to beat Norwich, which we did pretty much convincingly. And then today was a tough test on paper, looking at it, with the first coming up against second, both teams unbeaten. But Liverpool just showed their true quality and their true class today against an Arsenal side that has improved. But yeah, I think they've done everything that the fans have asked for, and now they've got another week off going into Burnley next week, so should be fresh and ready for another victory with fingers crossed next Saturday.
Yeah, listen, Gar, we do go into that game now looking to go into the international break with 4 from 4. Hopefully we get through it. We win that game. We come out with no injuries, and then cross fingers and toes and anything else you can find so that players don't go away and come back with minor niggles and stuff like that. But does it send a message out to the Premier League at this stage? Does it send a message to anyone?
Oh, without a doubt. Listen, you can say it's only 3 games in, but Gav, you look at it, and Peter, we haven't even taken, bar the first 60 minutes today, we haven't even, gotten to much gear at the moment. And obviously, City have dropped a couple of points, which is great. We haven't got out of gear, and we haven't played at top form in most of them games. Bar obviously, I say, 60 minutes today. So there's a lot more to come this side, which is possibly scary in a way. That this side cannot go up another level in games, and we have had a nice run to the start of the season, which is great. But today, tonight was going to be a tough game. We've come over it, and then next week, Burnley, you're up against a different side altogether. That we're going to bring a different test to us altogether. So, no, to me, there's still more gears to come from this side.
Yeah, listen, Keegan asked there, do you see us rotating against Burnley? I personally don't. I think he's going to go in as strong as he possibly can. And as I always said it, barring the injuries that we've had, I think he would have been very, very... he would have been very consistent on his team lineups for the first four before the international break. I think he likes to do that. Early Fred said, let's take a second to laugh at Man United. Listen, I don't even bother with Man United anymore, to be honest with you. They were winning the World Cup after the first day of the season. And then they went and drew with Wolves and lost to Palace. So you let them do what they want. Ollie's at the wheel and all that shit, so leave them to it. Before I go, I'd like to thank Gar and I'd like to thank Peter for joining me. I'd like to thank everyone for taking the time after the match to come on and watch this. It will be available for download later on. Of course, it's on YouTube, it's on Periscope. You can watch it replayed back there and stuff like that. I'd like to send my commiserations to Heavy D. He's had a big week at Arsenal. Heavy D has gone from shouting the odds to wearing David Luiz wigs and all that sort of shit, and it didn't work out for him. They were coming to make a statement. I don't know what makes the statement they made, but don't worry about it, lads. Sky will cover your arse in the hours and days ahead, because they don't want us to win the Premier League. It's very, very clear that they don't, and it'll kill them if we do, and it's just how I like it. Over and out.